Hey, this is Russ. We're back on the road again. So I woke up this morning, I took a look at our subscriber count, and we're almost at 10,000. Yeah. So by the time you see this video, it would already have hit 10,000. And as you know, we had a giveaway thing going on. Hopefully you got in on that. So where are we headed today? Well, I am on the Magicycle Cruiser. And I've brought both batteries with me, but I am riding the smaller of the two batteries first. We are headed to the North Branch Trail, which, as you may know, is the trail that we go to get to the Botanic Garden. Now, I told you that I didn't think that this bike would make it to the Botanic Garden and back, but there's only one way to find out. So here's how I'm planning to do this. I'm riding the small battery first, and I will exhaust that battery to about 10%, something like that. And then I will swap it out for the larger 20 amp hour battery. The first one is 15 amp hours. That's the original Magicycle Cruiser battery. And we know that the 20 amp hour battery gives me 40 miles of range before it finally cuts out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add up what this small battery gives me first. Let's turn here first. Add that to the 40 miles. We know that it's 60 miles to get to the Botanic Garden and back. So we cannot exceed 30 miles in one direction. Because I think if we go too far, we will have a problem to get it back home. All right. 30 miles one way, 30 miles back, should be 60 miles. That should do the Botanic Garden. Now, if for some reason our totals between the 40 miles we know that the other battery gives and this battery, if this battery doesn't give us at least 20 miles, we cannot head and hit into the Botanic Gardens. Does that make sense? So yeah, it's the game you have to play, but you don't know for sure until you try it. So I figured I'm gonna have to try it. I'm gonna let this car go first, because I'm not gonna go through all this asphalt stuff here. I'm gonna move over. They've got road construction stuff all over here. It looks terrible. I'm not gonna run over that. So today is a pretty nice day. I figured this is the day I needed to go try this because it is upper 60s right now. I would say within a half hour or so we should hit 70 degrees. It's just going to go up from there. But even so, by the time we do this and get back, I think we'll still be in the upper 70s. So it won't be too bad. I have my black shirt on. Yeah, I've been doing my best to try to keep the sun off of me. So I'm wearing the long sleeves again. And got my yellow vest on, of course. I've got my rear tail light blinking. My front headlight is blinking. Hopefully it doesn't cut out on me. I did not charge it up again. I think last time I took the Rad Rover with its front light, it cut out on me because I did not charge it for a long time. This one I have, but I've been riding with it for a while. If it cuts out, it cuts out, so be it. But we'll use it as much as we can. I have the X-Nito helmet on, so of course that has a front headlight and a rear tail light on the front and back of the helmet. But of course those are not anywhere as bright as the front and rear tail lights that I have on bike. The bike headlights aren't that great, to tell you the truth. None of these bikes seem to really be good. Oh, okay, I take that back. There are some new bikes that have come out that do have some really nice headlights on it. But for the most part, most of the bikes don't have really great headlights and tail lights. They give it to you, but yeah, they're not that great. In fact, I took mine off. No S. I took mine off of the Magicycle. It's just a dangling wire there now. It's because the headlight sticks out in front of the basket and stuff. I don't like that. And I figure I got this other light. What do I need it for? Well, these would be the times you would need it in case that headlight goes out. But too late. Alright, so I am using the Apple Maps to get me there. Comments continue to come in about the inability to stop. Yeah, I just let those things roll off, but I do mention it every now and then. It's actually getting kind of funny now. You know, before, I was getting kind of upset about it. You know, I do fully understand when kids say they're bullied online and they do drastic things. I kind of understand that now. Yeah, I get bullied all the time. In fact, the other day, I had a really good one come in. I can't quote it because I can't remember exactly what it said, but something to the effect of, we don't like fat slob guys like you riding your bikes at 20 plus miles an hour on sidewalks. Well, first off, I don't ride on sidewalks. The fat part, well, okay. He might be accurate on that one. He says, you don't like, I bet you've never ridden a motorcycle because you're afraid to. Well, actually, I don't ride a motorcycle because I've never really had a desire to ride a motorcycle. And what else did he say? I don't know, some other interesting things. A couple of you guys saw it. I put it on a comment, a reply to one comment so that she can see it, and one of you guys also commented it was kind of funny. Yeah, he kind of found every possible way to insult me in a very short amount of words. Yeah, he was pretty creative. Yeah, you know what happened to that guy. Banned. Yep, deleted and banned. Yeah, if you insult me like that, you're not sticking around. I think they know that. I think they know that's what's going to end up happening if they do that. Otherwise, why would they bother? You know, but it was kind of funny. I had a good laugh about it. The other guy had a good laugh about it too, who saw the comment. But yeah, I don't know how they get so creative with their insults. They're very good at it. So yeah, you do have to have a thick skin. There's no doubt. You have to have a thick skin being a YouTuber, because you will be insulted and called every name in the book, even though you may or may not deserve it. Now, this is not an open invitation for you to try it, because I'm telling you, if you do that, you're going to get banned. And when you get banned, you don't get a chance to comment anymore. You could watch the videos, but you could never comment again. Yeah, I typically will ban the porn sites that come on almost daily. I don't know why those guys do it at all. It never gets anywhere. It's actually filtered out by YouTube. And then it's put into a holding area for me to look at and decide whether I let it through or don't. Who's going to let that through? So I delete them like crazy. I don't know why these people do these things. I've learned there's a lot of bad in the world. I'm supposed to turn here. I'm going to have to make my move here. Yeah, I have seen a lot of bad in the world. I will say that. I've seen more than my fair share. You know, I had worked in law enforcement before. I gone to a lot of homicide type things, autopsies, all that kind of stuff. You know, that's what an evidence technician does. I think these people that comment don't realize that I had worked in law enforcement before. One person came out and called me a criminal. He says because I don't know, maybe it's because I don't stop. Oh, because I don't stop at the stop signs. He says you're gonna hurt it all for all of us. He says you're a criminal. I'm only a criminal if I get caught for the crime and thrown in prison first. Then I'm a criminal. Yeah, get your terminology right here. Yeah, we get called pretty interesting things. Criminal. Gee whiz. I wonder if he's ever missed a stop sign. Does he go past 55 miles an hour on the highway? Come on, he's a criminal too. We're all criminals. Every one of us. No, I do a rolling stop. And that's about all I'm going to ever do. I'm not going to do a full stop. Yeah, it's kind of hard to keep the balance on the bike if you do a full stop. You know, I don't have my seat way down where I can touch the ground when I stop with my feet. I prefer a better leg extension when I do a pedal. And so I'm kind of high up there. So if I stop, I do have to hop off the bike to stand on the ground. Then you got to hop back on the bike when you start again. Okay. So yeah, this is the best I'm going to do. All right. I am almost stopped, but it's not, of course, not a 3-second stop. So technically you're in the wrong for stopping that way. It's okay. If I guess I get a ticket, I get a ticket, right? But I think I would explain why I do it. But of course, that would not get you off of the ticket. If a police officer were to stop you for that kind of stop, and if he were to ticket you, if he had no compassion why you do what you do, because they have discretion. They could either ticket you or not ticket you. If he has no compassion, he's just going to ticket you. Don't even bother to fight it in court. You're going to lose. Just pay the ticket. No, I think if I had to stop at every stop sign, it would take a lot of the fun out of biking, I think. It really would. There's too many stop signs, and especially at the speeds that we go with these bikes, you'd be stopping every minute or so, you know. Now in situations like this, let's all stop. I've stopped, they've stopped, everybody stop. Okay? It really impedes the traffic. Because they don't know if I'm going through, they don't know if I'm stopping, so everyone's going to stop. When they see a bike, they're all going to stop. All right? And that's only because I think they're programmed to know that there are more bike riders who blow the stop signs off than I do. You know, there are people who literally won't even slow down. They'll just go right through it. And that's why many cars are used to saying, if the cars are ones that stop, they're used to kind of stopping and say, let's see what this bike guy does first before I move forward, okay? So it's not me who's programmed these drivers. It's everybody else who's ever ridden a bike has programmed them. I think really Idaho does have the right way of doing it, is let the bike riders do it as a yield sign, essentially, and let them make the decision whether they feel it's safe enough to move forward or not. But yeah, on occasion you may have someone who's going to get into an accident because they made a bad judgment call. But that's true for anything else. It is, you know, even if you're the best drivers and stuff, you might get into an accident because of some stupidity, you know, something that you didn't expect and it happened. You know, it's part of driving, it's part of transportation of anything. So yeah, it might happen. And here's another thing too, because people have told me that, you know, I'm too negative on that senior video. Remember the senior video? Senior video is the one where most of you guys probably came from, where we talked about important considerations for senior riders, where I've told people that, you know, you might fall. And I've scared a number of people away from buying e-bikes. Good. If they're scared off from what I said, they shouldn't be on an e-bike then, because those are the realities of what could possibly happen to you. You could fall. You do have to deal with traffic to get to locations, things like that, you know. So better that they know now before they get involved. And I've heard from people who said that they bought a bike and they regretted it because they didn't realize all the potential hazards that were there. Okay, now I don't understand why people don't understand that, you know, if you're on the street with cars, there's a potential hazard. Okay, if you're on a bike and it may tip over, that's a potential hazard. Okay. But for some reason, people get very excited about buying a bike, and they forget about all of these other things that could happen to them. And then when they finally get the bike and they realize, wow, this thing is a big thing and it's heavy, and you know, it takes them by surprise. And then they've wasted a couple $1,000s, okay? Because they end up having to sell the bike at a loss. So I don't want people to do that. So that's why I made that video, to let people know that there's there's things that you should be aware of before you buy an e-bike. Now, am I telling people not to buy e-bikes? No, I'm telling you buy an e-bike if you understand the potential hazards and you're willing to take that risk. Everything is a risk. Bike riding is a risk, okay? I'll say it again. Because you never know. I've fallen 3 times myself. Both times, the first 2 times I've fallen because of a weakened leg and knee, because of my knee replacement on my left leg, and when I stopped, my bike leaned towards the left and I didn't have enough strength to actually hold up myself in the bike. So obviously you're gonna go down. And then the 3rd time I fell was because my shoelace on my right shoe got caught in the pedals. And then, of course, the best way to do that, if you have a strong enough left leg, is just lean it to the left side and stop and untangle it. But you know what happens when I lean to the left side? I fell twice before because of that, so I made the conscious decision I'm going to purposely fall on the right side so I don't damage my left knee, okay, which has the knee replacement. So now, this car here waited for me to make the full stop, because he doesn't know if I'm going to stop or not, right? That's the smart thing to do as a driver. But when I see cars come up like that, I'll do a full stop. When there's absolutely no cars, I don't stop. I'll do a rolling stop. So, what else? Let's get off of the stop business. We seem to talk about this more than anything else. But it was interesting because of the weird comments we were getting. Sorry, I got an itch. Whenever I have an itch, the arm goes across. Oh yeah, we also mentioned too that the speedometer does not accurately depict what I'm really doing. I was probably less than, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 miles before starting up again, but it was still showing 5 or 6 miles on the speedometer. It's a slow stop, slow reaction on the speedometers. Even if I'm at a dead stop, it'll show me at 7 miles an hour, and then it slowly comes down to 0. So don't use that as any gauge either. So as you know, I have modified the Magicycle's pedal assist levels. I am now at a level of 1 through 9. So if you're watching what my pedal assist levels are set for or anything else like that on my meters and things here, it says PAS 4 right now. The levels are changed. My PAS 4 is not your PAS 4. I've changed the percentages. My PAS 4 is actually at a 52% level now. That used to be my PAS 3, but I gave myself a little bit extra slower sections, and then I went all the way up to 9 so that I can go to higher levels as well. Okay, we will stop here. Now, the postman stopped for a long time. He wasn't sure if I was going to stop or not. I did the full stop, and he gave me the look of, why didn't you keep going? But again, cars that know to stop are conditioned to say, hey, don't move into that intersection till you find out exactly what this bike rider is going to do, because they don't want to be one that hits a bike rider, okay? Because you as a bike rider will always lose, all right? And they don't want to be the guy that hits somebody. So it really impedes traffic. That's why I think we should adopt certain laws that allow the bike riders to do different things. So anyways, back to the pedal assist levels. I am 1 through 9 now, but most often I'll be sitting at pedal assist level 4 at 52%, and now throttling, I try to go for a smaller amount of throttle, but really, if I don't throttle at all, I know that I would have a lot better battery life. But as you know, when I get up from a dead stop like this, I will throttle to get myself going. That's because I don't use this a whole lot. I don't use the gears. I'm always stuck at 6 or 7, more often than not at 7, because I throttle up to get to a certain speed and then I start pedaling again. And so I don't really need gears 1 through 5. And even if I go too fast on top of it, Yeah, we might be waiting here for a long time. I don't think we can trigger this light. If I go too fast, I end up ghost pedaling. And ghost pedaling means, you know, the motor is going so fast, the bike is going so fast, you can't catch up with your pedaling. So you don't even feel any resistance when you're riding. Let's move up a little there. Somebody came up from behind me. I need him to come further. And I don't know why these people are so far back, because he's not going to trigger that light either. He's so far back, he's not on the sensor. All right, the light is finally triggered. I don't know how that triggered. Maybe it finally gave up. I don't know why these people are so far away from you. So anyways, so ghost pedaling, yeah. I don't like the ghost pedaling. I don't like the feeling. I feel like I have no control. That's where you're just kind of moving your legs, but nothing's really doing anything. But yet you're going like 25 miles an hour. So there was a gentleman who made a modification to his Magicycle. What he did is he went on eBay and bought himself a 52 tooth chain ring. And so he modified his bike by putting that chain ring on. That's some people call that the sprocket, the gears. I don't know what they would call it, but it's called a chain ring. That's the thing that's attached to your pedals. That's when you're pedaling. That's the thing with the teeth. Okay. We have a smaller amount of teeth on the Magicycle, as with most bikes it seems, and so it never catches up. So he modified his and put it to 52 teeth. 52 tooth teeth. So I went ahead and I ordered one as well. All right, with tax and everything, I think it was like $28 something. So once I put that on this bike, that should take care of my ghost pedaling. So which means what used to be my gear number 7 might be something like 3 or 4. Okay. So how does that benefit me? Well, you know, I never use any low gears. I'll have some things that are lower gears now because of that. Now you might say, what if you go up a real hard hill and you have to pedal it? I never pedal it. As you know, I usually throttle it. And so because of the throttling, that'll get me up to a certain level, and then I can start taking over again at maybe gear 3 or whatever. And then when I go really fast, I'll still have pedal resistance, because now we got 52 teeth. That's our hope. And from reports from what he did, and also from others who've also tried it based on his recommendations, they said the same thing, that they're no longer ghost pedaling and they're getting active pedaling at faster speeds now. Now I think maybe the manufacturers don't do this because maybe it's legal things, because they really don't want you to go that fast. I have no idea, but as you know, the Magicycle can do 28 miles per hour because it is technically a class 3 bike if you set it up that way. Otherwise, if you don't have it set up that way, it comes set up as a class 2 bike. All right, so that's why I think that's why there's no sticker on this bike that says class 2 or 3, because really nobody really knows what you're going to do with the bike. If you don't modify anything and you leave it factory setting, you're going to be class 2. If you modify it, you can go up to class 3. So obviously mine has been modified to class 3. Now technically at a class 3 level, going on the bike paths is not legal either. But I don't think the police are going to stop you and check your bike, although they could. Then they could ticket you, of course. Or internet trolls will tell you that you're illegally on the thing. You know, if you maintain the speed limit of 15 miles per hour or whatever that path is, whether your bike is class 1, 2, or 3, what difference does it make? If you're not going past that speed, but of course they all point out all the time how I always go past the speed. But if there's nobody around, is it really necessary to maintain 15 if you hit 18 by accident? Right? I don't do like 25 miles an hour on a bike path. You know that. Okay, is this thing ever going to change in the light? Makes you wonder sometimes. Now I could go up over here, I could go up over there and push that button. But then I gotta veer off my my street level to push the stupid button. And we don't have the metal to set off the metal detectors on the street. So what we end up having to do is invoke the 2-minute law in Illinois. If you stop at a stoplight for more than 2 minutes and nothing's changed, you can legally go through the red light. Now I always bring that up before I go and do it, because I know that if I don't say it, the internet trolls will jump all over me and saying, you just went through a red light. Well, I can legally do it. Okay, there's a car up ahead. He's going to trigger it for us because he's got metal. So I don't have to invoke the 2-minute law. We'll just sit tight and wait a little bit, and we'll see if he triggers the sensor here. He should. He or she. There it is. Here comes the light. I will signal, let her know that I'm taking a left, and she says, go ahead. So I will take it. Wave, thank you. So we do have to take some roads that are a little bit sketchier than others. Now we're on Central Road, it says here. This road will be a little sketchier. And we're to stay on this road for 5.7 miles. Now, typically I would go a lot faster, but I'm trying to stretch out my mileage. So I'm going a little slow today. We're doing about 17.5. You see all the cars are passing me now. But it is less cars now than certain times of the day. So in that sense, I guess it's okay to be a little slower. And really, the cars don't know that you're going to try to go fast. They kind of expect that you'll be kind of slow. I think most cars aren't ready for e-bikes yet. They're not used to seeing e-bikes on the road with them. So they think if they see a bike, they think it's going to be slow anyways. All right, people. I'm trying to move forward and the cars aren't moving. It's always an interesting thing when you've got lots of cars, big intersection. You always have to keep your eyes open, make sure people don't turn into you. I'm always looking over my shoulder, using the mirror, checking the mirror all the time to see what's coming up behind me. See, right now I'm ghost pedaling. To keep that 20 miles per hour, I was ghost pedaling. All right, let's move our pedal assist levels up a little bit. So now I'm on pedal assist level 6. I am totally ghost pedaling. My legs are moving to keep that cadence sensor moving, but I don't feel anything. Watch my legs. See how slow I'm going with my legs, but yet I'm going 20 miles an hour. This is why I felt I needed to make the change, because I consistently go at a fairly fast pace. Yeah, it doesn't even feel good. I don't feel like I have any control of my pedaling or anything. At that point, I'd rather just throttle it. You know, if I want the speed, I'm just throttling it, and that's going to be eating into your battery, because the throttling is what really takes up a lot of your power. I think if I was able to pedal it and still get my 20 miles an hour or whatever range I want to get, I'd probably increase my battery range. But we'll see. We'll see after we get it. Today is a Tuesday. I'm riding. I'm expecting that package to come in by Friday. So by next week, hopefully, I should have that on there, and I could start riding with the new chainring on there to see if it actually is improving my mileage or anything. Maybe I'll get some actual exercise out of this. All right, now, as we approach in certain area, remember I told you there was a guy at his house. He has a sword in a stone, just like the Excalibur thing. If I remember, I will slow down and let you see it. Maybe if I'm lucky, maybe I'll take my cell phone and take a picture of it if I remember. If I don't look too suspicious, taking pictures of somebody's sword in the stone. But I think they put it out there for people to notice. Otherwise, why would they put it in their front lawn? It is actually quite impressive. It's got a gold hilt and everything. That would be something I would do. My wife would never stand for something like that, but that would be something I would do. So where are we at? Des Plaines River Road and Central, for those who are local. What would that put us at? Is this Mount Prospect now? Des Plaines? Edge of it? I don't know where the cutoff is. Yeah, we've never taken a Magicycle out this far, right? Because I knew that I probably would have problems with the battery getting us back. So I didn't do it. Right now, I've traveled 11.1 miles on this smaller battery. We're at 59%. I've been pedaling and throttling. A lot more pedaling than I usually do when I'm talking to you guys, but I wanted to see if I could maximize my battery, so we might be able to actually make it to the Botanic Gardens and back. We shall see. And we're crossing over to Des Plaines River right now on this bridge. Water level looks really low. I'm just looking down the river there. So you see all this stuff is overgrown, right? So it's gonna hit you unless you move into the street level on the lane. Yeah, they need to cut that back. But before you can do that, you gotta make sure there's no cars there, so having a mirror is important. Let's talk about mirrors, since we're on the topic. Yeah, I feel everything should have a mirror. I put a mirror on my scooter. I put a mirror on one of the review bikes I'm reviewing right now. It's not from any of the brands we've talked about so far. It's a different brand. So that review eventually will come out soon. That is the bike that had the problem with the damage from FedEx. Yeah, they finally gave me the front fork. Wow, it took forever. It actually took over 2 months to get that front fork to me. I don't know what took so long. But it took forever to get it. Finally got it. I changed it out. Changing the fork was rather easy. The company actually gave me a video to watch of their own technicians building a bike, so that I could see how the front fork is actually put together. Really, even if they didn't give me the video, I could have done it, because as long as you take things out, keep it in the same order sequence, and put it back in the opposite order sequence, yeah, it's going to go back in exactly the same way as you took it apart, right? So I was able to put it together pretty easily. Now, Magicycle eventually will give me a front fork too. They mentioned that they want me to upgrade my cruiser to a pro type cruiser by putting the hydraulic front forks on. I already have the 20 amp hour battery. So there's things that I have. The hydraulic brakes are already on the bike. I already changed that out. So so I fondly refer to my bike as the semi-pro cruiser, because it doesn't have everything. It doesn't have the new motor and all that stuff on there. But you know, it's essentially got most everything that most everybody would want on the Cruiser, without having to send me an actual Cruiser, and that's perfectly fine. I don't need it, quite frankly. I'm fine with this one. So yeah, that bike is going to be reviewed within the next week or two, something like that, I think. I'm playing with it now. I've ridden it once already, and it's a folding bike. I'll tell you that right now. People have said that, you know, I need to get a folding bike. Well, we got one. We were just waiting for 2 months. I had one for 2 months. I couldn't do anything with it. Yeah, because of the fork not being there. You know, had the FedEx not damaged that bike, we would have had that thing done, and I would have been riding around with it. So anyways, I took it out once already. I did its first maiden voyage. Did really well. Yeah. There's good and bad about it. We'll talk about the good and bad. All bikes have something good and bad to talk about. I mean, not all of them are perfect. And they're not designed for everybody either. Some bikes are designed for certain type of riders, and other bikes aren't. Okay, yeah, like we know that Magicycle has told me that I will be getting each of the new bike models that are coming out from them. I'll get those for review, and when they come in, I'll be checking that over too. All right, I'm just letting the driver behind me know. It was a truck. He saw that I was running out of a lane, so he slowed down. He slowed down and let me into the lane, because there's no way I would have made it. All right, this thing is telling me to take Shermer Road, but I'm not going to do that. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn where I normally would turn. This is the truck that let me in. Because I want to see that sword in the stone. The map will just reroute itself accordingly once I make that turn. And that was based on the Bike Map app. That's how I learned to do it from last year. I just got to remember which street it is. This one? Nope, not this one. Maybe it's next street. Let's see. Trying to remember. You know, stuff like this, I usually just throttle. I don't pedal this. I won't like thinking about the pedaling aspect of things while having to deal with cars and stuff. Is it on this street? No, I don't think so. Let's try the next one. I may end up missing it. All right, if we miss it, maybe we'll get it on the way back. Yeah, I think I end up missing it already. Well, I guess we're going to Shermer, like this thing's telling me to do. All right, we're at 50% battery level. We're at 12.9 miles of riding. So yeah, Magicycle is going to be giving me 3 new bikes as they come out. And then we'll talk about it. Now, not every bike will be, of course, suitable for me. I'm kind of used to these big 26-inch wheels, and 2 of the 3 bikes have 20-inch wheels. That's the Ocelot Pro, and also the Jaguar Rundy, which is their folding bike. Now, I've already been on the folding bike from the other company, and I'll tell you that it feels different to me compared to a 26-inch wheel bike. It's going to take me a while to get used to it. But I did okay. I took it to the post office. You know, I usually do my post office run. Took it to the post office, dropped off the mail, came back with it. I was riding that bike at 28 miles an hour. Just to let you know. Yeah, it'll do class 3, that bike. So yeah, look forward to that review when it comes out. It'll come out before the Magicycle reviews, because I don't have the new Magicycles yet, but I do have that one. I've had plenty of time to kind of look at it. The been sitting in my office for 2 months, and but now I'm finally able to ride it and check it out. Yeah, this way here that they're recommending is actually, I think, more dangerous than the other way. This way I'm still stuck on Central, and I know Shermer is not the safest road either. But we'll do what it tells us to do at this point. I've ridden this area before in a car. This is not uncharted territory for me. Like I said, I kind of grew up in the general area where the North Branch Trail actually is, and that was my old bike path when I was growing up. So I know this whole area. That's why I kind of know what to expect for the roads, and it would not have been my choice to take this road. I think, had I found a turn at the other road, I think it would have been safer on the long run. Let's grab some water. I know this video is long. I think what I'll do is I'll bring you guys all the way up to the North Branch Trail. How's that? Then I'll cut it off at that point. Yeah, plenty to watch. You know, the thing is, I'm running out of videos. We're not a whole week ahead of you anymore. I'm only like 2 or 3 days ahead of you now, and that's because it rained and it was extremely hot, and the weather's been holding me off from riding this year. So I have not ridden as many miles this year as I did last year, and I've turned a lot of my videos from single videos to 2 or 3 videos out of the same trip because they're so long. And I want to document what I can because we don't have that many opportunities to go out when the weather's all messed up. So we can't just do like a partial ride when I'm going like 60 miles and only give you 20 minutes of it. So we just kind of keep talking and moving. Thank you too to friends and relatives who have been watching Russ is Right. Had a chance to talk to some people this past weekend. Found out they're watching Russ is Right. So hello to my relatives and to my friends. Some friends at church, I gave them Russ is Right business cards so they can watch Russ is Right. Don't know if they will or they won't. Some of them did. Some of them told me that they've already watched some things. I mean, they don't have e-bikes themselves, so the question is whether you want to watch it on a daily basis when you don't actually have an e-bike. But some of the people do. I know some of you guys have been thinking of getting an e-bike and are watching my channel just to kind of get used to things before the bike comes in for yourself, or maybe you've already placed an order for a bike. Which brings me to my shameless plug. If you need a bike and you want a discount, go into the description of any of my e-bike videos. You'll see a listing of discounts that you can get on bike purchases. So there's discounts on Rad Power Bikes, there's discounts on the Magicycle Cruiser, which is the one I'm riding right now. There's discounts on the KBO Breeze, or any of the KBO, in fact, any of those bikes within those brands you can get the discounts on. It's not specifically you have to buy the one that I have, but anything from those brands. There's helmet discounts. Every accessory I have on my bike is listed on there, so if you want to get the same stuff I have, there's Amazon affiliate links for those. We're almost at the North Branch Trail. Yeah, I know this has been a very long video, but yeah, this is the very first time the Magicycle's been taken on this particular ride. So it's kind of an important ride for us. I would like to say thank you again to Magicycle for the battery. Without them just giving me the battery, I would never be able to do this. I know they don't do it for everybody. I know there's other YouTubers out there. They don't get them. I feel privileged that they allow me to have it. But we've built up a very good working relationship. I've sold a lot of Magicycles for them. I won't tell you the total number, but let me tell you, I was very impressed myself that many of you guys have bought Magicycles because of me. But let me remind you too, if you do decide to do it, you need to use the link that's in the description. Don't just go directly to Magicycle and use my code. Although you'll get the discount, it doesn't do me any good. All right. I mean, it makes it look good for me, but I get nothing of it. So if you want to help the channel out, use the link. Click on the link first. You know, close your browser, get onto my video, then click on that link, and then order once you're on that link and use the code at that point. Then I get a slight commission for your purchase, and I appreciate it. That's what keeps me going. Okay. All right, believe it or not, we're almost at the North Branch Trail. Let's keep going. We're probably only, what to say here, 0.7 miles away. Maybe half a mile. I always put an address that's close by. That way it'll find the entrance for me. And then I'll let you go once we're at the North Branch Trail. We'll start up another video as we're going through the forest preserves. But yeah, the original battery with the pedaling and modest throttling, I'm at 27%. I'm at 17.6 miles. Now, you might notice that you know, my mileage is terrible compared to what my original estimation of miles were when I did my second review. And that's because that was all pedaling, and the throttling I did was extremely conservative. I tried to match the actual pedaling in terms of wattage. So that's how I was able to get like 32 miles out of it. So if you look at it now, we're at 26, and we're only at 17.7 miles. Okay. It's still looking for the address that I put in here. So we need to stop this. There we go. I just found an address that was relatively close by. Okay, there we go. Got rid of it. And it's still looking for that address. So now, I always knew that the Magicycle could make it to this point because, you know, like I said, we're at 18 miles roughly to get to the North Branch Trail. And I could usually do at least 22, 23 miles out of this battery if I ride the way I have been riding. Throttle and pedal, but a certain amount of throttling. My question was, how is I going to get back home if I did this? That's why without that second battery, I could never do this ride. Now, we know one way is 30 miles. We're going to take this battery as far as we can go before we swap out the batteries, because we're going to need that battery to get me all the way back home. Otherwise, I'll be stuck somewhere not fully at home. And like I said, even 4 blocks away from home, I didn't even feel like I could pedal this bike 4 blocks. Now, many of you guys can do that, of course. I can't, because I don't have the strength in my legs or my knees like you do based on my knee replacement. But so I need to take the smallest battery first, exhaust that one, and then put the new one on there. Then I get 40 miles at least out of that battery, if I'm conservative. If I throttle it, I won't get to 40. See, that guy was a little risky right there. He had some person who was walking, and then he rode between the person and me to pass that person. That is not safe, and that is not an e-bike. That was a regular bike, okay? So when people criticize the e-bikes for reckless riding, not all of us are reckless. That guy was reckless for doing that. Seeing that I was there, seeing that the lady was there, he still opted to squeeze between the two of us. Not good. Yeah, I try to stay safe. I try my best. All right, I think I've had you guys as far as I'm going to go here. I'm going to swap out my batteries and swap out my memory cards and everything here. Oh, here's a horse. Yeah, there's a riding path around here. There's a horse on the left there. I'll let you guys see that. See that? Isn't that cool? Yeah, there's stables around here. All right, anyways, appreciate you guys following up to this point. The next day will be the remaining of the ride getting to the Botanic Garden. I know that you guys have seen it before, but yeah, we talk about different things. So watch anyways, so you hear the new stuff we talk about. Talk to you guys next time.